Yeah, and I think of this rule the same way that I even think of the electric vehicle push, in that it's a direct attempt to inject socialism into the economy. It is the federal government deliberately interfering with the market in order to force the market to act according to its whims, instead of just allowing consumers to decide for themselves what they want to buy, which kind of car, or who gets mortgages, who is eligible, right? These are things that the government should not have control over. The banks should, or the market should. The market should determine the direction of this. And the Biden administration is deliberately trying to change that.
Yeah, Mark.
Just to kind of echo your point, this is socialism for homeowners. We mentioned the student loan issue. Cab drivers who never went to college are subsidizing that student loan debt, right? And that's not what capitalism is all about.
Yeah.
And it puts us in a situation where there's no consequences when you make bad decisions.
No.
My wife and I, we were paying, when we moved to Cleveland, Mark, back in the 70s, we were paying 18%.
Wow.
No one gave us anything.
Right.
We just struggled and worked our way through it.
Yeah, well, that's not what the administration wants. What is the market looking like right now? Because I guess when you get all the way up to 6.43% on mortgage rates, close to 7%, you see a freeze in this market, even though it's a far cry from the 18% you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the affordability is at an all-time low, right? You have obviously higher mortgage rates. Home prices are still elevated. And what you're seeing right now is you've got the real estate market basically at a standstill, because sellers, they don't want to lower their price because they know what their neighbor sold for 9 months ago. So they don't want to lower their price. Buyers don't have the buying power they used to have. So transactions aren't happening. You throw in the fact that existing home inventory is at an all-time low. And then we looked at recent data for building permits and housing starts. They're not building new homes either.
Yeah, that's right.
Permits are down. Housing sales. I mean, this is a big part of our GDP. My experience at Home Depot, this is going to have devastating impact on the economy.
Because there's an indirect as well when you think about the Home Depot of the world, because you buy a house, you build a house, you mortgage a house,
dishwasher,
and you got to buy everything for
labor,
it, and
furniture, all that stuff.
Housing should be a right and not a privilege. Every American deserves a safe and stable place to call home.
Rent growth has accelerated coast to coast in big cities, rural areas, east, west, south, north, just across the entire economy.
A lot of jobs that require a bachelor's degree are going to go away.
Our mortgage system is one of the main factors that decides who has a stable financial life, and it needs to serve all of America, and it's not doing that.
Mortgage rates are on the rise, and they're not showing any signs of slowing down.
Mortgage rates have now risen up above 5% for the first time in a long time, and home prices have also been rising.
If you look at predictions of where mortgage rates may be, say, 2 or 3 years from now, most people are looking at interest rates to 7 to 7.5%.
A mortgage typically refers to a loan used to buy a piece of real estate, for which that property serves as collateral. Today, 63% of homeowners in America are paying off their mortgages, according to Zillow.
Every percentage increase in a mortgage rate significantly increases the monthly payment, especially for low and moderate income families. So there are good reasons in the broader economy for raising rates, but this isn't good news for those trying to purchase a home.
But experts say that high rates aren't the only issue with mortgages that could hinder Americans from achieving home ownership.
Our economy has totally transformed in the last 50 years, and mortgages have not. If we update our system to better serve everyone in America, it will profoundly advance us in having a more equitable country.
How do mortgages make it more difficult to own a home in the United States? And can anything be done to solve it?
Welcome to U.S. Business News. We have changed our name. I'm your host, Tisha Pell, and you just saw a segment on Fox Business News and CNBC. So we're going to comment on that. Then we are going to tell you 3 ways to get pre-approved for a mortgage in the United States with $5,000 US. If you're listening to me from the United States, you can get a home in the United States, $5,000. That's $500 a month for 10 months. Listen to the entire segment. First, let's just dissect what we've just heard. So Fox Business talks about the government regulation, and as you could tell, this is what make homes in America so expensive. There's too much government regulation. Think about the Dodd-Frank. Remember in 2008 when President Obama shut the banks down because they were giving 100% finances. Now the banks are stuck with the FHA or your first time buying with 5% down, but your second home is 10% down, courtesy of Dodd-Frank. So we know the government messed up a couple times. The government gave us 2% interest rate, and a lot of Wall Street boys bought, as you could hear from the CNBC, that the system is just not set up for everybody to play because of government regulation. Government regulation is why real estate is expensive in the United States, and there's nothing we could do about it because big government says everybody's going to own a home, and so FHA came in, and then all of a sudden Dodd-Frank is in, and now all these tightening up of the mortgages. So what can you do? Well, these are the three predictions that's going to happen to real estate. The commercial real estate is going to be crashing, okay? So if you're in commercial real estate, go lawyer up right now. That's going to be crashing, and there's nothing you can do about it because what happened is that the people who left in 2008, all those mortgages, those subprimes, they went over to the commercial boys and girls, and now we know retail is dying. Digital assets are in. What is digital asset? YouTube channels, TikTok, Facebook. So that is a form of real estate. So when I talk about real estate on this show, I'm talking about three types of real estate: residential, the ones you live in or the rent out, commercial, and digital asset real estate, because digital asset real estate is passive income. We'll talk more about that. Folks, go ahead and hit that free like and that free subscribe button. Also, our Premier members, they are going to get extra real estate classes. I'm going to be releasing one class per month on real estate, and that will be for Premier members. Right now, we're just going to give you the basis. So CNBC talked about the rent being too high, down payments 20%. If you do FHA, it is 3%. Also, Zillow is having a program. They're going to give you 1%, which means you just need to come up with 2%. So if you've been watching the show, you know the average townhome in the United States is $265. A townhome is just like a single family home, except it's attached. That's the difference. It's 1,200 square feet. Most of them 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. You've seen them all the time. I live in townhome in Boca Raton. I mean, it's fun to live in a townhome. I can't tell the last time that I owned a single family home. I love townhomes. Townhomes and villas are good. You can live in them. If you're in Vail, Colorado, that's what you live in. You live in townhomes, or if you're in Manhattan, you live in a condo. So welcome to this kind of living, people. You don't need to have a single family home in the United States anymore. A townhome or villa is fine. And townhomes are averaging $265. So I'm telling you, with 3% down, and we are looking at what a townhome is for. It's $265. So this is in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm going to teach you how you could look at properties by going on Zillow. Okay, so that's $265, 3% down. Zillow is giving 1%. That means you need to get $5,000. Can't you find $500 a month for 10 months? You're in business if you can find $500 a month for 10 months. Go ahead and sell that car so you no longer have a car payment. That will give you $500 a month. So how do you search for homes? You go on Google, then you Zillow, and then you look for the zip code. I'm looking at 85015. That's Phoenix, Arizona. Then you look at the price range. There's a townhome I just saw today for $225. And according to Zillow, my payments will be $15.99. So you calculate your payments on Zillow, okay? They have a calculation there for you to do. You no longer have to do it yourself. They'll calculate it for you. Of course, Zillow is doing a 20% down calculation, so you need to go on there and change it to 3%, because first-time homeowners in the United States can do 3%. Zillow is giving you 1%, so you should save 2%. You are in the game. And yes, real estate is going to stay flat for 10 years. So don't think you're going to double your money when you buy it. And it's not going down, as we know, because we did the charting, and I will show you the charting as well. If you bought real estate in 2008 and you bought real estate in 2020, you paid the same amount. So don't tell me that we're going to crash when the prices of 2008 was 2020. In 2008, President Obama came in and he shut the banks down, causing the crash. In 2020, we know interest rate was at 2%, causing the market to double. So that's the opposite of when government interference happens. It usually manipulates the market. Either it makes it go down or it makes it go up. Right now, government interference is causing the commercial market to crash. It doesn't mean residential is going to be crashing. So you want to make Google your best friend, go on Zillow. You don't need a realtor when you're on Zillow. Look for the zip code, look for townhomes, and Zillow will do the calculation for you. Zillow is saying at $225, your payments are $15.99, but that's with 20% down. So you'd have to change equation on Zillow. Just go on there, go down and put 3% and it will come up with a new amount. So I calculated the 3% a new amount would be $2,000 a month. So that's still a good savings, I would say. That is still a good savings. So at $225 with 20% down, you're at $15.99. Okay. If you do 3% down, you're at $2,000 a month. So this is principal and interest, 1163. This is with 20% down. And this is your taxes. This is your insurance. And this is your maintenance fee. You have a maintenance fee if you have a townhome. So you can always pay off the mortgage. You can never pay off the taxes or the maintenance fee. But mortgages are cheaper than you paying rent. Okay? So I'm Tisha Powell. Go ahead and hit that free like and that free subscribe button. Why isn't real estate coming down? 3 reasons residential real estate won't be coming down. Number 1, United States, we owe $32 trillion. Number 2, the government bought up too many 2% interest by buying up 2% or offering people 2% in 2020, 2021. They're never going to give up that house, government. And number 3, commercial real estate is already going to be crashing. So we're not going to have 2 crashes when one is crashing. So commercial is on its way down. Residential will stay flat. You need to buy yourself a home.